When you sit for competitive exams like GPSC or TLATI, the clock is ticking. You have seconds to process each question and mark your answer. And one section consistently drains both time and marks: English grammar. Specifically, knowing exactly when to place the articles a, and, or the. Test makers love to set traps. You will almost certainly see questions like, "He is blank honest man," or "She studies at blank university." If you rely on English spelling rules to solve these, you will second-guess yourself. But over the next 5 minutes, we are going to bypass English entirely and use your native Gujarati to find the right answer. This phonetic approach cuts through confusion, saves you precious seconds per question, and guarantees you get the mark. Let's build the system. First, we need to separate our articles into two groups. The is our definite article. A and an are our indefinite articles. We will focus on them right now. The most important thing to remember is that a and an have a mathematical value. In Gujarati, they literally translate to the word ek, the number 1. Because they represent a single unit, they can only be placed in front of nouns that are both singular and countable. You can have a pen or a boy. So if the test question asks you to fill in an article for a plural noun like boys or an uncountable noun like water, you instantly eliminate a and an from your options. Now here is the core technique. Stop looking at the letters written on the page. Instead, say the English word out loud and listen to the very first sound it makes in Gujarati. If that first sound is a Gujarati vyanjan, a consonant like g, k, or g, you use the article a. If the first phonetic sound is a Gujarati swar, a vowel like a, e, or e, you use the article an. Let's test this on the word boy. When you say boy, the first sound hitting your ear is ba, the Gujarati vyanjan ba. Because it's a consonant sound, the correct answer is a boy. You do not need to memorize English vowels. The acoustic sound of the Gujarati pronunciation dictates your answer every single time. Let's take this hack back to our original test traps. Look at the word university. The English spelling starts with the letter U, which is an English vowel. But remember our rule: ignore the English spelling. When you say university, the first sound is ya, the Gujarati vyanjan u. Since u is a consonant, the answer is a university. Next, consider honest. It begins with the consonant h, so spelling suggests a, but the h is silent. Spoken, it's honest. The first sound is the Gujarati swar a. Being a vowel sound, it takes an honest man. By relying on Gujarati phonetics, you bypass the contradictory spelling exceptions of English. The test makers can't trick you if you trust your ears. Now we move to our second group, the definite article, the. You use the when pointing to a specific, undeniably unique noun. There are 6 primary categories you need to spot. Look at the moon. Rule 1 is for unique celestial bodies. There is only one sun, earth, and moon, so we say the moon. This photograph shows the Himalayas. Rule 2 applies to massive geographic features like mountain ranges, oceans, and rivers. We say the Himalayas or the Ganga. Here is the Bhagavad Gita. Rule 3 uses the for sacred texts and globally recognized holy books. It is always the Gita or the Ramayana. Rule 4 covers specific religious denominations and distinct groups of people. You apply the when referencing the Hindus, the Muslims, or the Sikhs. Rule 5 requires the for specific publications, major media outlets, and daily newspapers. If it's on the newsstand, it's the Times of India. Finally, Rule 6. Use the for professional titles like the principal or the prime minister, and for superlatives like the best or the tallest. Across all 6 categories, the function is identical. The is an anchor pointing clearly to one specific, universally understood entity. Once you learn the rules for the, it's tempting to use it constantly, especially if a noun feels important. But the exams will test your restraint. This brings us to the 0 article rule. Proper nouns, specifically the names of individual cities, states, and countries, never take an article. If your prompt is blank Vadodara or blank Gujarat, you do not write the Vadodara. You leave it completely blank. Knowing when a sentence is already complete without an article is a specific tested skill. Often, doing nothing is the correct grammatical choice. Let's bring this back to the start. You're sitting in the exam hall, and those two trap questions appear. You see blank honest man. You say honest. The first sound is the vowel ah. You see blank university. You say university. The first sound is the consonant U. Without hesitating over spelling rules, you mark an honest man and a university. Secure your marks and move on. To practice this method, check the video description below. I've linked a free PDF practice sheet and an invite to our WhatsApp study group, where we solve questions together. If this phonetic framework helped you, like the video, hit subscribe, and share it with anyone else preparing for their exams. Apply the Gujarati sounds to English words, respect the definite categories, and watch out for proper nouns. You have the tools to handle the English grammar section. Keep practicing.